Welcome. This is a calm space where we release our worries and where we gently remind ourselves to take deep, slow breaths. During this time, allow yourself to relax the muscles in your body. Go ahead and begin by taking a deep breath and slowly letting your shoulders drop down. And now, we will begin our story. In a faraway land, nestled between snowy mountains and valleys of cherry blossom trees, was a special garden shimmering with colours. This wasn't just any garden. It was the dream garden, where every plant and pebble held a little sprinkle of magic. One evening, as the sun began to sink under the horizon, a kind monk named Amanthi decided to visit. As the sun set, it began to paint the sky in shades of purples, pinks, and oranges. Amanthi quietly walked through the garden gates and gazed out upon the flowers, while listening to the soft breeze pass through the trees. Soon, the sun vanished completely, and the sky became the darkest shade of blue. Amanthi walked further inside the garden and sat beside the pond at its center. He was drawn to it, as the clear water was like a giant mirror, reflecting back the clouds in the night sky. Lily pads gently floated atop the water, and the moon's light seemed to have a magical effect on the pink lotus flowers, making them glow. As he sat beside the calm water, he could feel himself becoming sleepier and sleepier. He looked around to find a cozy space to lie down, and he spotted a patch of soft green grass under a big tree. The tree stood tall, like a gentle giant, and its leaves rustled like soft whispers as the light gusts of wind passed by. Magical fireflies, glowing like tiny lanterns, danced around, creating a dazzling contrast against the dark backdrop of the shaded garden. At this time, Amanthi began to feel his eyelids getting heavier and heavier, and he soon drifted off to sleep. He began to dream of the creatures who lived within the gates of the peaceful dream garden. His subconscious mind envisioned a fantastical pink frog, which sat in the middle of the pond, surrounded by countless lotus flowers. The frog sat completely still, content to bask in the warm night air, listening to the orchestra of crickets fill the garden with their symphony of sound. Next, his mind went under the surface of the water as he dreamt of the koi fish that resided within the pond. The fish seemed to be in harmony with one another, calmly swimming along as if there wasn't a worry in the world. Each of them wore a unique pattern of orange and white, and their tails trailed behind them like ribbons in the wind. What a peaceful existence, just flowing through the water at their own relaxed pace. Standing at the edge of the pond, he dreamt of a tall heron, observing the moon's reflection as it bounced off the surface of the calm water. In the distance were the snowy mountains, and the moon peeked over them as if it were too shy to come all the way out. The ridges of the mountain were glazed with snow, reminding Amanthi of the vanilla frosting his grandmother used to drizzle over her homemade desserts. Cherry blossom trees also peeked over the edge of the pond, their flowers in full bloom. The pink petals were on full display for the heron and all the other animals that lived within the garden. The cherry blossom trees were home to other gentle creatures, like the squirrel that became the focus of Amanthi's dream. The night air had become crisp, as the winds had begun to pull soft little snowflakes down from the mountainside. The squirrel sat comfortably on a branch, feeling safe within this fortress of flowers. The furry little creature seemed to be in its own meditative state, focusing on individual snowflakes as they slowly drifted down from the sky. It then watched each snowflake melt as soon as they made contact with the surface of the water. The focus of Amanthi's dream then shifted to animals that lived on the mountain, like the majestic deer standing stoically in the snowy forest. All around the deer, the trees stood tall, and the world was wrapped in a blanket of white. The frozen river running through the forest was like a polished pathway of untouched glass. Snowflakes danced around the deer, each one unique, shimmering in the moonlight that shone through the opening in the forest. Even as the cold wind whispered through the trees, the deer remained undisturbed, a beacon of grace and tranquility amidst the wintry wonderland. Finally, Amanthi dreamt of a solitary panda. The panda had found a comforting alcove on the side of the mountain. The ground was blanketed in a soft layer of snow, but the panda's thick coat of fur kept it warm and cozy. The world was quiet, and the panda could only hear the light sounds of its own slow breathing, as all of the trees on the mountainside stood completely still. The panda curled up and held itself tightly, cradled by the mountain's snowy embrace. In its secret little nook, the panda then gently closed its eyes and fully relaxed every muscle in its body as it prepared for a night of deep sleep. Thank you for listening. I wish you health, rest, and relaxation. Over the course of the next few minutes, the music will slowly wind down. You can take this time to focus on your breathing and consciously relax the different parts of your body, beginning with your shoulders, and slowly working your way down through your legs. You are worthy of self-care, you are unique, and you have unique gifts to share with the world. You are not alone in sometimes being worried or fearful. You are deserving of deep rest and rejuvenation, and it is my wish for you to receive it. Stay well. I look forward to sharing other stories with you soon.